on the flying circus.
Sup everyone, Walter here. Been a while since I posted, I know. Moved to New York, homeless here in New York now. But anyways, that's alright. Just got out of hospital, there for a couple weeks. I was put on lithium, my mood's feeling a bit better. But anyways, I want to talk about this, Woke 1, Woke 2 debate that apparently has come about since I've been in hospital. So apparently now they're talking about Woke 1 and Woke 2. And people saying, quote unquote, Woke 1 was crazy. Now, I watched the Humanist Reports video on it. Put an image right here if I can edit it in. And, you know, and when I was in the hospital, I did see AOC on ABC Weekly. But I'll be honest, I did not like her running away from the DSA's platform, running away from, like, you know, the cancel Thanksgiving and all that stuff. You know, and so here's what I'm going to say on it. So, like, I don't know when Woke 1, quote unquote, was. Like, would you say 2014, 2015, 2016? Maybe, when I was in high school, right? So, like, yeah, at first, I did think Woke 1 was crazy until I did the research. The thing is, when you do the research on all that shit, whether it's like, you know, the cancel Thanksgiving, reparations, you know, and just America's history in general with, I mean, especially with anti-communism, but I mean, that wasn't the, you know, main course of debate. But, like, and also with, like, you know, trying to, like, raise up marginalized voices. It actually was not too crazy, because if you do the history, there's a lot of fucked up history that would actually justify this rhetoric. You know, the fact is, what happened was fucking crazy. So, let's talk about Thanksgiving. So, if you know me, I grew up in Independence, Missouri. Independence, Missouri is known for a couple things. The Three Trails West, area is Truman, and also where the Mormons say Jesus is going to come back to. Alright? So, the Three Trails West, you know, and we were taught this in my history class. You know, I went to Truman High School and also went to most. But, like, let's say they did a pretty good job teaching us our history, but from a very, very biased American exceptionalist perspective, right? So, like, you know, we learned about, oh, they pushed the Native Americans west. You know, they got pushed west. Oh, we found gold on their land, so then we had to tell them to move again. You know, and then it, you know, happened again and again until we had the whole fucking continent, and then we had to put them in reservations. But, like, the story of Thanksgiving, you know, because I remember learning this in middle school about, like, the stages of genocide, and one of them was, like, you know, genocide denial. You know, like, Germany kind of still does this with their genocide. I mean, Israel does it. And if you really think about it, with what a genocide denial is, the story of Thanksgiving is a genocide denial story. I mean, yeah, there was, like, one day when they all, like, met and, like, had food together, and then, like, a couple months later in winter when supplies were low, they went at war again. So, I mean, that's just true, you know? Like, the story of Thanksgiving is a genocide denial story. And then, you know, the other thing, reparations, again, slaves are free. They were promised 40 acres and a mule. And none of them got that. And that is why, and just also with how brutal chattel slavery was too. They should be owed reparations. I mean, there's still a disparity of African Americans compared to white people today. I mean, in Kansas City, you know, where I'm from, there's still the effects of redlining. you know? New York here, I'm noticing there are, like, definitely redlining effects and shit. You know, like, it still, like, ends up being segregated, like, mostly. Like, you still have, that's the black part of town and that's the white part of town. You know? Like, that hasn't really fucking gone away. Okay? So, yes, there should be owed reparations for the fact that, like, you know, typically, you know, the black part of town is usually also called the ghetto part of town. You know, maybe like every part of town should be like nice and good. Just said. Anyways, but like, so I have to think about, okay, so why is it that, you know, they're changing the rhetoric? You know, like, why are like both AOC and Zoran saying that woke one was crazy? I mean, because one, they're getting more popular with the affordability crisis, you know, and like, again, like I said, it's not crazy if you actually did the research. And they're trying to appeal to the people who have not done the research. Or to the people who did do research and fell down the QAnon rabbit hole. Because, you know, Epstein files came out, turned out Trump, the guy they thought that was the savior, he's the head of the whole pedophile ring conspiracy. Like, he is the head pedophile of the conspiracy. You know, so, because of that's the case, well, now, you know, we got another set of groups to reach out to. And they're, unfortunately, dumbing down their language so that they don't feel talked down to or guilty. But, I mean, here's the thing, though. A lot of these people they are trying to talk to, like the QAnon people, and this is the same thing with, like, you know, the people in power who don't want you to talk about, you know, how bad Thanksgiving actually is, reparations, and all that shit. A lot of them are narcissistic abusers. And whenever you tell the truth, and you know the truth about a narcissistic abuser, they lose their power over you. You know? I mean, I know this with going through mental health myself, but also, when I was in the hospital, I saw they had, like, Disney Channel is, like, doing, like, a Disney Princess movie. There was nothing to fucking do except for watch TV. So I ended up watching Tangled. And, like, pretty fucked up story, you know, now that I look back on it. This woman kidnaps this girl because she was using a flower for centuries to keep herself young and beautiful. And then it ended up going to, like, cure the mother. And, you know, the child was born with the magic hair. And she kidnapped the child. And she basically, you know, all she only cared about her for the fact that, like, she was, you know, she got the powers of the flower. Like, literally, like, the first thing she says, whatever, she's like, so I just gotta be safe, mommy? Yes, you are. You're beautiful, my little flower. Like, they even emphasizing the fact that she didn't even see, like, Rapunzel as, like, a fucking human being, just as her fucking flower in human form. But, you know, once Rapunzel realized the truth, she lost the power she had over her. So, I guess that's my little lesson. You have to tell the truth about our history, and then the narcissistic abusers in our society, whether they be capitalists or those other people that, you know, AOZ and Zoran are trying to get the votes for, they lose their power over us. Stay woke. Real woke. Woke one. Or dark woke.